It's sold in every pharmacy, found in nearly every multivitamin bottle. And yet, this one vitamin could be raising your stroke risk overnight. That's right, a vitamin, one you might be taking right now, has been quietly linked to a dramatic increase in stroke risk, especially for people over the age of 60, and hardly anyone's talking about it. Hey there, I'm Dr. Zabo. I'm a neurologist with nearly 3 decades of experience helping seniors protect their memory, reduce brain fog, and recover from strokes. And what I'm about to share could absolutely change how you view your daily supplements. But before we dive in, take a second and comment below. Where in the world are you watching from today? It means a lot to me to see our global wellness community growing, and your comment helps this message reach more people who need it. And while you're here, hit that like button and subscribe. If you're committed to staying sharp, mobile, and independent as you age, this channel is for you. I break down real science without the scare tactics and share what works and what doesn't. Now let's talk about the reason you clicked this video. If you're over 60 and taking this particular supplement, your brain and your blood vessels may be under attack. You deserve to know the truth. In this video, I'm going to reveal what this vitamin is, why it's quietly causing damage in seniors, and the steps you can take immediately to protect yourself. This isn't clickbait. This is based on clinical research that's been overlooked or ignored by mainstream medicine. Studies that have shown real harm in aging adults, harm that's completely preventable. And here's the good news. By the end of this video, I'll also give you a simple, natural alternative that not only avoids the risks, but actually protects your brain. It boosts memory, it supports heart health, and it does it without triggering the problems we're about to uncover. So stay with me, because once you know what this vitamin is doing inside the aging brain, you'll never look at your supplement shelf the same way again. Let's start with the culprit hiding in plain sight, vitamin B6. Now, most people hear B6 and think safe, natural, essential. And in small amounts, they're right. Vitamin B6 plays a role in nerve function, brain chemistry, and even mood balance. But here's what almost no one tells you. Many seniors, maybe even you, are taking B6 daily for nerve pain, brain support, or as part of a general multivitamin. But in excess, it can become toxic to the nervous system. This isn't fear-mongering. It's medical reality. A 2022 meta-analysis, that's a study of studies, found that older adults with existing blood vessel issues who took high doses of B6 had a marked increase in stroke risk. The risk wasn't from food, it was from synthetic supplements. Here's why that's such a problem. Your average grocery store multivitamin often contains 5 to 10 times the recommended daily amount of B6. That means even if you're following the label, you may already be overdosing. So what can you do about it? First, do not exceed 1.7 milligrams per day unless a trusted health professional tells you to. That's the safe upper limit for most seniors. Second, go grab your multivitamin bottle. Flip it over. Check how much B6 is in there. If it says 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, or more, that's a red flag. Third, listen to your body. If you felt unexplained numbness, nerve tingling in your feet or hands, or muscle weakness, that could be your body trying to warn you. And look, I'm not saying you should fear vitamins. I'm saying you should respect them. Your brain doesn't need more. It needs balance. More isn't always better, especially when it comes to something as delicate as your nervous system and blood flow. Now let's go deeper into why this risk matters so much as we age. Here's something most doctors never explain. As we get older, our blood vessels become thinner, more fragile, and our body's ability to process certain vitamins, like B6, slows down dramatically. So while a younger person might flush out that extra B6 easily, in seniors it accumulates. It stays in the bloodstream longer. It interacts with the nervous system longer. And that's where the damage begins. Too much B6 can interfere with both nerve signaling and blood flow, the two systems most responsible for stroke prevention and cognitive function. Now here's the kicker. In a 2019 study out of Japan, researchers followed hundreds of seniors who were supplementing with more than 20 milligrams of B6 per day. And what did they find? Those seniors had twice the rate of silent microstrokes, tiny, undetectable clots that don't cause major symptoms at first, but over time, chip away at brain health, memory, and mobility. And again, most of these seniors had no idea they were taking too much. They were following the bottle. They trusted the label. So what should you do? First, stop taking isolated B6 unless your doctor specifically recommends it. Second, switch to food-based sources of B6 whenever possible. Wild-caught salmon, spinach, organic turkey. These give you just the right amount in a form your body understands. Third, if you must supplement, choose a balanced B complex, ideally one that's methylated, which means it's easier for aging livers to process. And here's your pattern interrupt. Wait a second. Isn't B6 supposed to be good for the brain? Yes, at the right dose. And that's where most people, and sadly, even many doctors, get it wrong. Because B6 is marketed as a brain booster, many assume more must be better. But too much? That's where the trouble starts. Remember, the dose makes the poison. So by now you might be asking, if high-dose B6 is risky and food-based B6 isn't always enough, what can I take to truly protect my brain? Great question, because the answer is not only safe, it's actually more effective for long-term brain health. I'm talking about a specific form of magnesium known as magnesium L-threonate. Now stay with me, because this isn't just any magnesium. There are many types out there. You've probably seen magnesium oxide, or magnesium citrate, maybe even glycinate. And yes, they all have benefits, but none of them were designed to target the brain. Magnesium L-threonate is different. It's the only form shown in clinical trials to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is the protective shield that blocks most substances from reaching your brain tissue. What does that mean for you? It means that magnesium L-threonate doesn't just float around in your body. It actually makes it into your neurons. It supports brain cell communication. It increases the density of synapses, the little bridges that connect one thought to another. That's why studies show it improves working memory, recall speed, and clarity of thought. But it goes even deeper than that. Because as we age, our brain naturally loses flexibility. Those neural connections, the ones that help us remember names, process conversations, and stay mentally sharp, they start to thin out. Magnesium L-threonate helps reverse that. In one groundbreaking study from MIT, older adults who took this form of magnesium daily showed noticeable improvements in short-term memory and executive function, even compared to those taking other forms of magnesium. But that's just one part of the story, because magnesium L-threonate also supports your nervous system. It helps regulate the release of stress hormones like cortisol. It calms overactive brain waves, which is why many people report deeper sleep, reduced anxiety, and even fewer nighttime wake-ups. I've had patients tell me, I didn't realize how tense I'd been feeling until it lifted. It's like your brain finally exhales. And here's something that often surprises people. Magnesium L-threonate may even help support your bones. Why? Because when your brain is calm, your hormone levels stabilize, and your body is better able to regulate calcium and rebuild tissue overnight. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds amazing, but how do I take it safely? Let me walk you through it. Step 1, look for the label. You want to see magnesium L-threonate, or the patented name Magtene R. That's the only form that passes through the blood-brain barrier effectively. If you see magnesium oxide or citrate, that's not what we're talking about here. Step 2. Check the dosage. You're looking for around 144 milligrams of elemental magnesium per day. That's usually spread across 2 or 3 capsules. Don't worry if the total amount of compound is higher. What matters is the elemental magnesium. Step 3. Take it before bed. This is key. Your brain performs its deepest repairs while you sleep, and magnesium helps enhance that natural process. For best absorption, pair it with a small healthy fat, like a slice of avocado, a few almonds, or even a spoonful of bone broth. Now, can I tell you a quick story? One of my patients, Linda, was 68. Smart, active, a retired school teacher. But lately she'd been struggling. She'd forget names mid-sentence. She lost her keys 3 times in 1 week. She described her mind as foggy, like something was sitting between her thoughts. She came to me worried she was developing early dementia. Turns out, she'd been taking a high-dose B6 supplement every day, thinking it would help. Once we identified the issue, we weaned her off the B6 and introduced magnesium L-threonate instead. Within 3 weeks, she noticed a dramatic shift. Her thinking got clearer. Her mood felt more balanced. She was sleeping through the night for the first time in months. And best of all, no scary side effects. No increased risk. Just better brain function naturally. She looked at me and said, "Dr. Willis, it feels like someone turned the lights back on in my head." That's the power of using the right tools at the right time for the right reasons. So if you're looking for a safe, effective way to support memory, protect your brain, and feel more like you again, magnesium L-threonate is it. Not hype, not guesswork. Real science, real results. And unlike the risky megadoses of B6, this isn't about pushing your system harder. It's about nourishing it smarter. We've talked about what's dangerous. We've talked about what works. Now let's talk about how to protect yourself when standing in the supplement aisle or scrolling through options online. Because here's the hard truth. Most so-called brain health supplements on the market today, they're overdosed, under-tested, and loaded with ingredients that sound impressive, but can actually put seniors at risk. Let's break this down. Many of these products are sold with flashy promises, sharper memory, think faster, feel younger. But what they don't tell you, most of them are not designed with seniors in mind. They're formulated for 25-year-olds with fast metabolisms, perfect circulation, and 0 prescription medications. And yet, they're heavily marketed to people over 60. Why? Because supplement companies know you care about your health. They know you want to stay sharp, active, and independent. And unfortunately, they use that desire to sell you hope, even when the science doesn't back it up. Here's what to watch out for. First, always look for the phrase clinician formulated or tested for seniors on the label. This means the dosage and ingredient combinations were crafted with older adults in mind, not just mass-produced for general sales. If a product doesn't say that, that's your first red flag. Second, check the B6 content. If the label says anything above 10 milligrams per serving, especially if it's not paired with other B vitamins, it's likely too much. And it may be doing more harm than good. Third, pay attention to the form of the vitamin. If you see pyridoxine hydrochloride, that's the synthetic form of B6. It's cheap to manufacture, but it's also the form most often associated with nerve damage and stroke risk in older adults. What you want instead is pyridoxal 5-phosphate, the active methylated form that your body can actually use safely. And don't stop there. Fourth, make sure the supplement has been third-party tested. Look for labels like NSF certified, USP verified, or informed choice. These are not marketing buzzwords. They mean an independent lab has tested the product for purity, potency, and safety. If you don't see any third-party testing, that supplement is asking you to take it on faith. And your brain health is too important for guesswork. Now let's bring this full circle. Remember that 2022 meta-analysis we talked about earlier? Every high-risk patient in that study, every single one, was taking synthetic B6, not food-based or balanced B-complex blends. They thought they were doing the right thing. They were following the label, and they still ended up in danger. So the takeaway is this: even when a product claims to help your brain, you need to read past the front of the bottle. You need to look underneath the promises, because what's inside might not match what it says on the outside. And I get it. It can be overwhelming. The shelves are crowded, the labels are confusing, and no one wants to waste money, or worse, hurt their health, while trying to do the right thing. But you don't have to figure this out alone. That's why I make these videos. That's why we break down the fine print and lift the veil on what works and what doesn't. Because your health decisions should be based on truth, not tactics. So let's bring this full circle. You clicked this video because you heard a brain doctor say that one vitamin might be raising stroke risk overnight. And now you know the truth. That vitamin is vitamin B6. But not the tiny amounts found naturally in food. Not the small balanced doses in quality supplements. The danger lies in excessive synthetic forms, the kind hidden in many over-the-counter pills, disguised as brain boosters. If you've been taking one of those high-dose B6 supplements, believing it would help your memory, your mood, or your focus, just pause. Take a moment. Go to your cupboard. Flip the bottle over. Read the label. And if it says more than 10 milligrams, or if you see the word pyridoxine hydrochloride, that's your red flag. But here's the good news. Now you know better. And when you know better, you can choose better. You're not stuck, you're not helpless, and you're definitely not alone. In fact, most people, especially those over 60, had no idea that this harmless vitamin could carry any risk at all. And why would they? The warnings are buried in footnotes. The studies never make headlines. But now you know. And that's not just information. That's power. Power to make safer choices. Power to protect your brain. Power to stay independent, mobile, and in control of your health as you age. And that's what this entire channel is about. Giving you the tools, clarity, and confidence to make smart, science-backed decisions without fear or confusion. So here's what I want to know. What supplements are you taking every day? Drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you're curious about, what you've been hearing buzz around, or what you want me to investigate next. Because we're just getting started. And if this video helped you, even just a little, share it. Send it to your spouse, to your sister, to your walking group, to the neighbor who always talks about their new vitamin stack. It could spark a life-changing conversation, and maybe even save a life. Thanks for watching. And remember, you're not aging wrong. You're just waiting on the right information. And now, you've got it.